a WikiVidi documentaries production. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Enjoy. Hatem Ben Arfa. Hatem Ben Arfa is a French footballer who plays as a winger and an attacking midfielder for Ligue 1 club Paris Saint-Germain and the France national team. He has been described as one of the best-rated talents in France, but has been criticized by the media and players alike for lacking discipline. Ben Arfa's career started in the Île-de-France region, where he trained at AC Boulogne-Billancourt and Versailles. In 1999, he was selected to attend the Clairefontaine Academy. He spent 3 years there before leaving for Lyon, where he won 4 Ligue 1 titles. In his early career at Lyon, he played as a centre-forward, but moved into a winger role during the 2007-08 season. In the summer of 2008, Ben Arfa signed with rivals Marseille for €11 million in a move that required the intervention of the Ligue de Football Professionnel. With Marseille, he won the 2009-10 league title, his 5th overall, as well as the Coupe de la Ligue in 2010. After 2 years at Marseille, Ben Arfa joined English club Newcastle United on loan for the 2010-11 season. The deal was made permanent later in the season. Ben Arfa spent 4 years at Newcastle, with a loan spell at Hull City and his final season at the club. He signed for Nice in January 2015, but was unable to make his debut until August, having already represented Newcastle United reserves and Hull City the previous season. He scored 17 goals in 32 league appearances for Nice, attracting the interest of several European clubs, and signed for Paris Saint-Germain on 1 July 2016. Ben Arfa is a former French youth international and has played at all levels for France. At the under-17 level, he was a part of the team that won the 2004 UEFA European Under-17 Championship. Ben Arfa was called up to the senior team for the first time in October 2007 for a UEFA Euro 2008 qualifying match against the Faroe Islands. He has made 15 appearances for France, scoring twice. Early career. Ben Arfa was born into a family with a football history. His father was the former Tunisian international footballer Kamel Ben Arfa. Ben Arfa began his career in France at ASV Châtenay-Malabry. After 2 years at the club, he moved a few miles north to Montrouge 92. In 1998, Ben Arfa joined Sporting Club AC Boulogne-Billancourt. The following year, he was selected to attend the Clairefontaine Academy. While at Clairefontaine, he was a part of La Clairefontaine, a documentary series which chronicled the lives of some of France's top young footballers during their time at the academy. During the series, an episode showed Ben Arfa getting into an argument with Abu Dhabi. While training at Clairefontaine during the weekdays, he played for FC Versailles on the weekends. Lyon. Already labelled a prodigy at the age of 15, Ben Arfa joined Lyon, a club that had just won its first ever Ligue 1 championship. In August 2004, after spending 2 years in the youth divisions of the Lyon Academy, he signed his first professional contract, agreeing to a 3-year deal despite late interest from English club Chelsea and Dutch outfit Ajax. Along with fellow youth player Karim Benzema, he was promoted to the senior squad and was assigned the number 34 shirt. Ben Arfa made his professional debut on the opening day of the 2004-05 season against Nice. Lyon won the match 1-0 with a goal from Giovanni Elba, a few minutes after Ben Arfa had come on. After making a few substitute appearances, he made his first start on the 11th of September 2004 in a 2-1 victory over Rennes. Playing 56 minutes, Ben Arfa scored his first professional goal 2 months later on the 10th of November in a Coupe de la Ligue match against Lyon, converting from the penalty spot in extra time to give Lyon a 2-1 lead, though Lille scored 2 late goals, beating Lyon 3-2. He made his UEFA Champions League debut in a group stage match against Manchester United, coming on as a substitute for Sidney Govou. The following season, Ben Arfa switched to the first team number 18 shirt, but his substitute-to-start ratio was still high as 7 of his 12 appearances were as a substitute. He made his first Champions League start in a 2-1 victory over Norwegian club Rosenborg, providing the assist on the game-winning goal scored by the Brazilian Fred in the last minutes of the match. Ben Arfa scored his first league goal during the 2006-07 season against Sudan just before half-time. The goal proved to be the winner as Lyon won the match 1-0. After the departure of wingers Florent Malouda and Sylvain Wiltord, new manager Alan Perrin preferred the more modern 4-3-3 formation and moved Ben Arfa to left wing for the 2007-08 season. Ben Arfa quickly adapted to the position and scored his first goal in a 5-1 demolition of Metz on the 15th of September, though his performance was overshadowed by a Karim Benzema hat-trick. Arguably his best performances in a Lyon shirt came in a period of 12 days, during which he played a league match on the 28th of October against Paris Saint-Germain, and a Champions League game against German club VfB Stuttgart on the 7th of November. He scored 2 goals in each match, with both results being in favour of Lyon. Following the season, he was named the National Union of Professional Footballers Young Player of the Year. Despite rumours of a rift between himself and Benzema, Ben Arfa signed a contract extension with Lyon in March 2008 until 2010. However, his career at Lyon reached an impasse after he got into a training session scuffle with Sébastien Squilisi. Marseille. Despite reported interest from English clubs Everton, Manchester United, Arsenal, and Spanish club Real Madrid, rumours of a move to rivals Marseille began to surface. On the 28th of June 2008, Lyon confirmed that a proposed transfer to Marseille had been cancelled for the time being. However, Ben Arfa confirmed to the local La Provence newspaper on the 29th of June that he had signed for the Southern Coast club and would not return to Lyon for pre-season training the following day. La Provence later reported that Ben Arfa had in fact missed training in Lyon on the 30th of June, confirming his intentions. Ben Arfa officially joined Marseille on the 1st of July 2008 for €12 million, with future incentives to be included later, after an agreement was reached between Marseille and Lyon in a meeting organised by the Ligue de Football Professionnel. As a result of the disagreement over the transfer, in December 2008, Ben Arfa told the local Lyon newspaper Le Progrès that his former team lacked class and was not a great team. Ben Arfa was presented to the media, and at his first training session with the club the same day, he was given the number 20 shirt. On the 16th of July, Ben Arfa was involved in another training session bust-up, this time with striker and France international Djibril Cisse. Cisse later joined English club Sunderland on loan. Ben Arfa made his league debut on the opening day of the season in a 4-4 draw with Rennes. He scored his first goal for Les Marseillais in that match. He continued in form, scoring 6 times in his first 11 matches. However, his reputation for controversy continued to haunt him when he was involved in another dispute, this time with the Cameroon international Modeste Mbami, during a warm-up session ahead of the club's UEFA Champions League match against Liverpool. The two had to be separated by Ronald Zubar. Controversy arose again following Marseille 4-2 loss to La Classique rivals Paris Saint-Germain. He drew the ire of manager Eric Gerrez after his refusal to leave the bench to warm up. Ben Arfa later said he was injured, much to the chagrin of Gerrez, but later apologized for the incident to the media and Gerrez himself. Upon his return to the squad, Ben Arfa responded by scoring a goal and providing the assists on both the other goals in a 3-1 victory over Saint-Étienne. Ben Arfa switched to the number 10 shirt for the 2009-10 season and made his debut on the opening match day of the season in a 2-0 away victory over Grenoble, appearing as a substitute in the 68th minute. The following week, he earned his first start of the season against Lyon, and assisted the winning goal scored by Brondao. Controversy surfaced again, however, when, on the 8th of October 2009, Ben Arfa was fined €10,000 by the club for missing a training session. Ben Arfa blamed the absence on airport delays as he was in Tunisia visiting family members during the international break. A month later, on the 18th of November, he got into a heated argument with manager Didier Deschamps during a training session, for which Ben Arfa later apologized. Under Deschamps in the first half of the season, Ben Arfa appeared in 15 of the club's 20 league matches and only played the full 90 minutes in 2 matches, a 2-1 defeat against Monaco, an 8-2 defeat to Auxerre. Ben Arfa's play during the 2010 portion of the season earned praise from both Deschamps and sporting director José Anigo. On the 10th of January 2010, Ben Arfa scored his first goal of the season against amateur club Trelisic in the Coupe de France. A month later, he was instrumental in Marseille's 5-1 victory over Valenciennes, assisting on the opening goal scored by Lucho Gonzalez. Later that month, Ben Arfa scored an away goal in the first leg of the club's UEFA Europa League tie against Danish club FC Copenhagen. In the return leg in Marseille, Ben Arfa struck again, scoring the opening goal in the 43rd minute. Marseille won the match 3-1 in the tie 6-2 on aggregate. On the 27th of February, he scored his first league goal of the season in a 3-0 victory over Paris Saint-Germain. Ben Arfa's play in the month of February was validated when he was named the UNFP Player of the Month. Marseille won all 4 of the league matches the team contested, with Ben Arfa starting all of them. On the 7th of April, Ben Arfa converted a penalty in a 3-0 win over Sochaux. The victory placed the club at the top of the table, and they remained there for the rest of the season and clinched the title on the 5th of May with a 3-1 win over Rennes. Ben Arfa appeared as a substitute in the match. Departure from Marseille. On the 22nd of July 2010, reports surfaced suggesting that English club Newcastle United were looking to sign Ben Arfa. After being questioned, Newcastle's manager Chris Hughton denied the reports. 5 days later, Ben Arfa's agent declared that Newcastle were indeed interested in the player, along with German clubs Hoffenheim and Werder Bremen, Turkish club Galatasaray, and Italian club AC Milan. On the 9th of August, a season-long loan, with an option to make the move permanent, was reportedly being negotiated between the two clubs. However, a loan fee for the deal could not be reached, with Newcastle offering £650,000, £350,000 short of what Marseille wanted. On the 12th of August, Marseille president Jean-Claude Dacier announced that Ben Arfa would not be moving to Newcastle, and even went as far as to say that an offer from the club had not even existed. Similar to his actions in leaving Lyon, Ben Arfa responded to the statement by telling the French sports newspaper L'Equipe that he would not be returning to La Commanderie, Marseille training facility, and would not play with the team for the remainder of the season. He also stated that his relationship with Deschamps had turned sour and was beyond repair. Ben Arfa confirmed his intentions by travelling to Newcastle upon time, without authorization, with hopes that Newcastle and Marseille would come to an agreement. After returning to Marseille, he missed several training sessions with his parent club and was, subsequently, left off the matchday squad for 2 league matches against Valenciennes and Lorient. Ben Arfa's number 10 was later given to new signing André Pierre Gignac, which signalled a transfer was imminent. On the 19th of August, a proposed move to Werder Bremen failed to come to fruition after the club's sporting director Klaus Allofs declared that the club was not interested in Ben Arfa. Despite reports of Werder Bremen offering Marseille a transfer fee of €8 million. On the 27th of August, Dacier confirmed that the club had reached an agreement on a loan fee with Newcastle for the transfer of Ben Arfa, with personal terms being the only stumbling block in the deal. Marseille agreed to a £2 million loan fee. Newcastle had been set to pay Marseille another £5 million if Ben Arfa had made 25 club appearances in the 2010-11 season, which would have made the transfer permanent. Brought to you by WikiVidi Documentaries. Would you like to know more?